Welcome along to Rangers Daft. It's your weekly look at all thing Rangers from football. Daft. Let's welcome the team. We're down one member of the team at the moment. I was going to say two names bigger than Delta and Omicron. It's Stephen Purden and Grado.
That's very topical, very current.
Topical.
I liked it.
Omicron.
This just in.
Oh, just in.
Grado, hold on.
I'm going to need this Wi-Fi, boys. I've realised what's happened. For my Sky to work, I can't get the broadband to work. Fucking hell, man.
So, Delta might not be making it because he's got Wi-Fi issues, but Omicron is here.
Yeah, another excuse from Grado, Stephen. I'm surprised he's not sending us what he normally does, sends us a picture of, say, a broken down tractor. I'm surprised we've not got the picture of the Wi-Fi router with a red light beside it as he doubles down on the excuse.
I think, I know this excuse is genuine from him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is taking photos to add to his photo library for future excuses.
Right. Well, I'm just going to Google image right now, faulty router, and we'll see if he sends the Google image that pops up when you write faulty router. Then we'll be able to tell. So it might just be Omicron with us, which is a really shit name for a variant, I have to say. It's a bit too long. Sounds like a transformer.
But Delta was a bit there.
Delta was a bit more kind of, but Omicron is a bit more subtle. You know, I've currently got it, by the way. I've currently I'm currently living in COVID, and my Christmas has been cancelled. But I think everyone's getting it. If you're listening to the podcast, there's maybe a chance that you're sitting bored at your skull, so you're just sitting listening to the podcast at the moment, and you've got the old dread COVID. But we crack on.
Yes,
you know.
the show must go on.
Exactly. And I'm glad to hear that the pavilion's still going on. Fingers crossed you can get to the end of your run, mate. Right, so let's crack in. We've not got a guest pundit, we've not got Grado, but let's talk about the Rangers, shall we, Stephen? And let's go back to last week. It was Rangers 2, St Johnstone 0, Morelos and Kent. And a fairly one-sided game, I would say. It was a very poor performance for St Johnstone. Rangers all over it.
I think if you want to see me the highlights and stuff, I don't think you'll see much more of a one-sided game. It should have been a lot more. Rangers just didn't take their chances. So many chances we had, but it was a very run-of-the-mill 3 points, and the Gio bandwagon marched on.
Indeed, it did. One change from the side that beat Hearts with Hadji coming in for Sakala. Were you surprised at that? Because Sakala was probably man of the match against Hearts, wasn't he?
I remember we had Stevie Clifford on. We were talking about when Gio came in. I thought Hadji might have thrived under Gio. I know Hadji get man of the match at the weekend there. We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll definitely get to that.
But he just seemed, I don't know what's good. He doesn't. I thought Hadji would have thrived in the kind of number 10 role, but Aribo is playing out his skin in that role, so he's not going to get in there for Aribo. Arfield is kind of next to him. Hadji's getting deployed as a kind of one of the wingers, and it's not his game. He's not a winger. He can't run. He's not quick. For me, at the moment, he seems to be the one who's struggling a wee bit for form. Under Gio, it doesn't really seem to be setting the header right. So, yes, to answer your question, John, I was surprised that he started over Sakala. But there's just something about Sakala I like as a kind of impact player to bring on from the bench as well, if you know what I mean. So,
right, yeah.
But I was surprised. I thought Sakala would have started.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's fairly one-sided. Seems to be a lot of creativity in that Rangers side. I don't know where this injection of... I think it's just the change of system that seems to... It's for the
middle of the park. I keep repeating myself. It's not having that flat three in the middle. It's allowing Aribo and Arfield to be more further forward. So you're effectively having like five going forward at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Aribo is the big name. I mean, he seems to be getting the fans out of their seats. That touch, let's just talk about that touch in the second half. When it comes out in the air, he touches it and he brings it down, wee shimmy of the feet. It was unbelievable.
It was, I mean, he just killed it stone dead. He killed it stone dead and then just proceeded to move it and try to pass through to Kent, or it was Kent, I think it was. Yeah, but Kent, yeah. It was, he's the most informed player in the country at the minute. Some people from other quarters might argue that, but I'll stick with Rebo.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly having an outstanding season, and it's certainly benefiting him. I mean, Stephen, I think you've talked about it for a while, is moving him into that central midfield role, because that's where he seems to be his best, in that almost 10 role. Morelos as well. Let's talk about Morelos. Assist and a goal. Can't ask for much more.
He's back in there, man. He's doing his job. He's looking a lot more lively. He's looking a lot more mobile. He looks a lot more interested. And the most important thing of all is he's back amongst the goals, and he's back amongst other goals as well. Like you're saying, assists and stuff, like setting up Kent for the goal. I think a few weeks ago, running through on goal, even though all he had today was square it to Kent, he would have made that look hard about 3-4 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? He'd have probably fucked that up. But no, he's looking like his old self, man, and that's all you want.
It's confidence, isn't it, with Morelos? It's confidence that he thrives on that. I mean, that's 3-3 for him now. So great to turn, and obviously he's, it's maybe the new manager coming in is just to kick up the arse he need. He just got,
I think it is.
Lackadaisical under Gerrard.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think we could say that about quite a lot of people as well. I think somebody that should get a special mention as well after the semi-final against Hibs, he's maybe somebody I was fucking raging with. But he looks like his old self again. It's Connor Goldson.
Right.
He's looking like the centre half he was last season. I think Bassey playing in there due to Balogun and Hollander being out. Bassey's been a revelation at centre half, but I think a lot of that needs to go down to Goldson as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think Goldson, it's my missus for Lapland that keeps texting me on the photos. Goldson, Bassey, even when you look at Barisic, he's looking more like himself as well. Morelos, Kent is playing with a swagger. Aribo, I think the new management has just come in and lifted probably fucking 80-90% of the team.
Yeah, I mean, was there anything to complain about that performance, Stephen? It didn't seem to be.
Just that we didn't score more.
Yeah,
I would say the game should have been dead. I mean, obviously I was doing a show. Me and Grado were in the theatre doing the panel, but the group chat was going. My mates were saying it's the best they've seen us playing this season. They said it should be about 4-5-0 at half time. So you look at the stats, I watched the highlights. It backs it up. Do you know what I mean? It should have been. My only complaint would have been it should have been there.
Yeah, I mean, you hear words getting banned about champagne performance, joy to watch, all these kind of plaudits getting thrown around. Again, it's amazing how far in those 8 games, or 7 games at this point now, how Van Bronckhorst has brought you forward. It's
well, mate, it's like I said. I don't know if I said it last week. Like sitting at Hampden that day, and we get beat 3-0 off Hibs in the semi-final just after Gerrard had left, and Van Bronckhorst had been announced, but he wasn't in the dugout at that point. Sitting there, looking at having to go to Livingston, having to go to Easter Road, having to go to Tynecastle, having to beat Sparta Prague to go through all these places. Difficult games to come out of them all unscathed. Leon away as well. It's nothing short of miraculous. In the league, he's only conceded 1 goal. We've got that kind of solidarity about us again. Do you know what I mean? That kind of solid base in the team, the spine in the team's there again as well. So, it's hats off to him, man.
Well, let's move on to the Dundee United game in that, because Johnstone was a bit comprehensive. Dundee United was a bit more of a struggle. Worst performance under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst so far?
Again, I wasn't there, but I seen the highlights, and my mates were saying that too. I would say full credit has to go to Dundee United. It's like a makeshift team they had. They had a lot of the youngsters out because obviously they were forced, that their hand was forced. It looked like they gave a very good account of themselves. They made heavy weather of it. Players, Lundstrom didn't really look like he'd done much. Obviously missing Barisic. Barisic's been very good since Van Bronckhorst took over. Patterson was in. A few changes here and there. Kamara played a wee bit more further forward. I don't really think it suits him. I think he needs to be that player just sitting back a wee bit. Worst performance, but again, 3 points. And all these paranoid people out there, it's a fucking penalty.
We'll get into that in a minute. It was interesting how Rangers lined up. 2 changes in there with Patterson and Lundstrom coming for Aribo and Barisic. Again, surprised that Aribo was left out, or is it not surprising considering he was only one booking away for a suspension?
I think it's obviously Van Bronckhorst is obviously looking ahead. Do you know what I mean? You've got Pittodrie, then you've got Parkhead coming, so he'd have been out of the Parkhead game. So I think when you look at the starting lineup, and if I'm Van Bronckhorst, you're going right. I'm going to need to start utilising my squad at some point and using my squad at some point. Dundee United down to the bare bones, not in very good form. A lot of their senior players missing. He's obviously looked and meant this is a good opportunity to put some of these players in and rest players like Aribo. But some of the players that went in made very, very heavy weather of it, man. Do you know what I mean? So,
I mean, when you look at Dundee, there was a 16-year-old making his debut, Craig Moore. I mean, they were impressive in parts, and they really stopped Rangers playing. They stopped that, I guess.
They were pressing us all over the pitch, man.
They stopped that. They got in between your defence and your midfield and stopped that ball to Kamara. Did that really effectively. And you have to take your hands off. I mean, young boys out there, I mean, playing with, no fear.
No fear.
That's it. That's the one danger, isn't it, in those situations?
Aye. Definitely, man. So, I mean, we went to Tannadice at the start of the season. We get beat, obviously, and then they've came to Ibrox there and they've gave a good account of themselves. So,
yeah. I mean, Tampo's one I had down for getting the boot early. Just think, but he has done a cracking job with Dundee United.
I'm not really one for sitting getting Dundee United plaudits. I'm not the biggest fan, but they did play well. Fair play to them.
Daft starting at centre half.
That was wild. When I seen the lineup, I just assumed Bassey Goldson would have been centre half. Patterson would have went to left back and Tav at right back. But starting Tav next to Goldson, then Bassey left and Patterson right, I thought that was a bit didn't really make sense to me. I think obviously after 15 minutes or 20 minutes, they changed back to what we all thought it was going to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you think Patterson did out? And from what you saw, Patterson playing out left back.
It's hard to gauge with the highlights. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to gauge, but a few of my mates said he did all right. Like I said before, I don't know, did I say this last week? He's not the type of Patterson. He does need more games. Do you know what I mean? But the major problem is he's not going to take Tav's place. So I don't know what you do really. Do you know what I mean?
It's I guess from a supporter's point of view, it's a bit frustrating as well because you want to see young boys come into the side, and Patterson obviously has, like, for Scotland especially, has stood out, and been a good player. But just how does he get a game? Do you think it's a loan deal? Does he go out on loan to try and get game time, or do you think he's an essential squad player?
I think he's an essential squad player. I think Van Bronckhorst said. I think Van Bronckhorst was on record saying a couple of weeks ago he's really excited about working with Patterson and Bassey, was it? Two youngsters. So I think I don't see him going out on loan, man. I really don't. I think he's just, but it gets to the point where maybe Patterson will go, look, I want to play more, so I need to play more. So I don't know. This just in from Grado once again. Will we listen to this one?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see what it says.
I am going to fucking go nuts, man. I spent hours last night fixing this Wi-Fi. Now my Sky, everything's working apart from any other device. I can't go into the Wi-Fi, go into any laptop or fuck all. I'm fucking freaking out.
And that's an update from Grado.
There we go. Aye.
He's not making it. He's not
making it.
So a lot of huffing and puffing, but there was a real kind of lack of fluency in Rangers at the weekend.
It was. Obviously, I was up and down the stairs in the pavilion checking my phone. God. It was very annoying. It's not the way I thought the game would have went. But I think obviously there's mentally and psychologically there's a bit of pressure on you there because it's a free week where Celtic come to playing in the league and you've got the chance to go 7 points clear. In hindsight, it's always a tricky game. It's always a tricky situation, but we got the job done. And it was a penalty.
I'll be the first, and me, I'll be the first, but it was a penalty. He was unlucky. It comes off his shoulder on his hand.
Here's the thing, right?
His hand is out there, isn't it?
Aye, but this whole penalty to Rangers thing, right? I love it, right? I love noising Celtic fans up on Twitter saying it, right? Because I love it when we get a penalty, right? But we get penalties because we are creating these opportunities in the box. I mean, all these conspiracies, man, about Rangers and Masonic referees and all that. I mean, look at that yesterday with Hibs. That was a penalty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I've seen Celtic get away with quite a few. Carter Vickers, was it against Dundee United at Parkhead where it was 0-0?
Yeah.
It was a Stonewall. Like, I mean, the one at Easter Road.
It depends. It's football. It's
the one at Easter Road. I know you weren't sure. I thought it was a Stonewall penalty by Porteous. The one against Dundee United there, the guy's playing basketball in a penalty area, man. It hits his horn. It's blatant, but
his hands up there.
Aye, exactly. But
I don't think he's just taking his eye off the ball. You know, it's flicked up because he blocked the shot. He's just closed his eyes or whatever. But it is a penalty and well taken, of course, by Sam.
That was a big thing as well because I had a costume change at that point. I was in my dressing room and it said on my phone penalty Rangers, and I was sitting thinking, who's going to take it? Is Tav going to take it because Roof's obviously injured? And fair play to the captain stepping up. It was a great pen. And towards the end of the season, they're the kind of games that prove vital 3 points, man.
Big decision from Van Bronckhorst at half-time. I mean, and you like to see managers doing this. When it's not working, you change it. Obviously, Lundstrom gets the hook. Scott Wright comes on. He made a difference.
Aye. He gave us that wee bit of energy, I think. Should have scored. He had that chance where...
He probably took an extra touch too many.
Aye, maybe. And then Lundstrom, man, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of our highest earners as well, Lundstrom. It just doesn't seem to...
It starts with him though, isn't it? You're coming out that wee purple patch where he was going through and you're thinking he's hit stride now, he's shown the player he can be. I think he was playing a bit more advanced and doing that kind of stuff that Arfield was doing, but then it seems to be... Do you think he's getting asked to do a different job under Van Bronckhorst?
I think obviously that's his first real chance in it under Van Bronckhorst, but it doesn't bode well for you if you get hooked at half time, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on with Davis. He's not been in the last couple of squads. I don't know, is he got an illness or something? I don't know.
I've certainly not seen anything about Davis.
I've not seen anything or heard anything. I've just heard a few different rumours, but I've not really heard anything official or concrete because I don't think he's been in the last 2 matchday squads. If I'm right in saying that. He didn't play against at Johnstone, did he? No. And he wasn't on the bench either, I don't think. So
he wasn't. No.
I don't know what's going on there.
Right, we'll see. We will see. And you obviously you didn't see the game because you were dressed as an ugly sister. But the header, I can just imagine if you were at Ibrox and that header coming off the bar at the end.
Well, I heard a couple of wee snippets of the main podcast last week, and Grado saying I'm a nightmare to watch the game and all that. If I had seen that, I would have had an absolute fucking... I shit myself, even knowing the game's finished, watching the highlights, going, what the fuck? That header fit. I think it wasn't Nicky Clark on it, no. It was
it was a young boy. It was one of the young boys that they were playing.
Holy shit, man. We can't keep getting away with shit like that, though. Do you know what I mean? That's dodgy.
But, I guess as a Rangers supporter, sometimes you just have those days, and you just hope that's just a one-off occasion where you've not had a great game, especially considering the fixtures that you've got ahead of you at the moment.
It's like everything. It's like you look at Celtic, right? The last few weeks, they've not had Kyogo or Jota. They've huffed and puffed. They've only won by a 1-goal deficit a couple of times. It's natural and only human for a team to go, right, shit, our best player isn't playing today. Joe Aribo's been our best player. He's not there. He's out. It's only natural that players are going to look about and look for him and go, oh no. Yeah. It's like Celtic without Kyogo and Jota. They don't look the same team. When Kyogo's in, they look a different team, and when Jota's there, they look a different team. So like the Rangers without Aribo, do you know what I mean? And even Borna has been very good. They're big misses. Barisic and Aribo are very good players and very important to Rangers, do you know what I mean? So with them not being there, we're always going to be struggle a wee bit more than what we would normally.
I mean, as a neutral, I would love to see all these players fit for the Old Firm because it's really exciting. You know, when it's going to be really interesting. Both of these. Now I think Celtic have kind of fallen in under, I hate it, Ange Ball or whatever, and it's just got really exciting from a neutral point of view, and you just hope that all the best players are on the park. Obviously, from a Rangers point of view, you're hoping that Jota is not available. It doesn't look like he is going to be right enough, but
I don't care.
Bring them on! Bring them on! When you look back at those, Stephen, that is 17 games unbeaten, 8 games on the 8 league wins on the spin. The last time you got beat was against Dundee United at Tannadice.
Aye, Tannadice at the start of the season and all. For all the talk, right? Obviously, we were kind of looking very stale with Gerrard, even though we were still picking up points. We were looking stale. But for Van Bronckhorst to come in, it seems we've went back to that relentlessness we had last season, where we're just getting the job done and we are just churning out 3 points after 3 points after 3 points, and hopefully it can continue, because we are hitting a very, very tough period of fixtures now. But like I said a few weeks back when Van Bronckhorst took over, these have been tough fixtures we've had. But
Livy away, Hearts away,
Hibs away, you're going, this will show this is what you maybe want for him coming in, Van Bronckhorst, and he's came in, like I said, and I didn't for the life of me think we'd get through every one of the games unscathed so far. So
I was going to say, I'm sure if I'd offered you out of, say,
I took a draw here and there,
somewhere along the line.
But hopefully with Pittodrie on the horizon, then Celtic Park. I'm not going to sit here and be patronising and arrogant and all that, but what this squad's done over the past couple of years, we really have got nothing to fear.
Yeah, I did hear, in fact, it was David Edgar from Heart and Hand saying if you win the next 3 games, you win the league.
Aye, if we go down, we go down to Parkhead and we win after, if we win at Pittodrie as well, I think if we go down to Celtic Park and we win, it's yours.
Right.
I definitely think so.
Confident.
But if they beat us, then it's game on. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, I don't really. We shouldn't have any fear.
Yeah, there isn't a fear. The strangest decision of the game, and seemed to be set Twitter alight, was the fact that Yanis Hadji got man of the match, who didn't have a brilliant game. Came out, tried a Rabona. United almost scored from it. There's one boy I play 5-a-side footballs with, Rabona's it fucking does my head in. Every fucking game he tries a Rabona, and there's time and a place for a Rabona.
Aye.
Nobody wouldn't just 1-0 up.
There's two sides to this, right? A player like Hadji, I think he's the type of player that a manager says, look, don't be scared to try things. Go out and do it, because he's got the ability, right? But the other side of it is Hadji, with the way he's been playing and his form in that situation at the weekend there, a bit of common sense going, just use your right foot, man, to pass that ball. You don't need to try a fucking Rabona, mate. Do you know what I mean? Just calm down. But I don't know, but nothing seems to be going right for him. He works hard.
Yeah.
I don't want Hadji. Obviously I want him tracking back and stuff and doing his job, and so will the manager, but you really don't want to see him doing most of his work off the ball and tracking back. I want to see Hadji on the ball and unlocking the defence, and like the last season, he was the assist king. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just no.
Player. We talked about his numbers last season.
Aye.
He was a numbers player. So we don't know who the spot. It was the sponsors man of the match, so they've obviously picked it. But
I think they were all fucking in the hospitality pissed, man, on the bevy. You know what I mean? Picking Hadji as a fucking man of the match.
He'll do.
I'd probably just gave it to Tav for scoring the penalty.
Aye. After the game, Van Bronckhorst came out and said when the game is progressing, you get more space, especially when Scott came off the right. He gave us more depth and speed on the flanks. It's a vital 3 points. We had to dig in deep to get them.
Yeah.
Fair assessment. I guess if Hadji's not the Rangers Daft rated of the week, who is over the 2 games?
Over the 2 games, I would maybe... Oh, it's a hard one, man. obviously, because I've only seen highlights, and it's right. I'll just. Do you know what, man? The same as last week. 2 games and no goals conceded. I gave it to Bassey last week. I'm just going to give it to Goldson.
Yeah, Real.
Aye.
Come back from him. And what about the Rangers Dafty?
Hadji for that Rabona.
Hadji for the Rabona. Fair enough.
Oh, maybe Lundstrom.
No. Hadji's Rabona versus Lundstrom getting hooked at half-time.
I'll give it to Hadji.
Give it to Hadji.
Aye.
So, a couple of wee bits of news before we look ahead, Stephen. Talking about Hadji, again, more seems to be constantly around transfer windows speculation. 12 million's getting talked about in January.
For Hadji?
Yeah, 12.
I would take it.
Take it.
I would take it, aye. How much did we pay for him? Was it
3 million? I think it was 3, was it?
3 or 4, I think it was. I would take 12 million for Hadji in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there's alternative as well. They're looking at a Galatasaray player as well, Olimpiu Moratan.
What a player!
What a player! So they're looking at Moratan of Galatasaray as a potential player if Hadji was to go. Another player that the Rangers were looking at is Xavi Simons from Paris Saint-Germain.
Is this the wonder kid?
Yeah, they were trying to get him. He's Dutch as well, and they were trying to. Obviously, Van Bronckhorst knows that market really well, and they're trying to get him in. But he got his first game at the weekend there, and Pochettino, I think, was quite impressed and talked him up there at the end. So, yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
I think that's kind of pie in the sky, man. If he's getting game time at PSG, a team like Rangers are never going to be able to fucking compete with that, are they?
No, I don't think so. The other thing is Josh McPake looks he could be on his way on loan to Carlisle, which again you want to see the young players go out. I mean, you know, you've got the B side there who are doing very well at the moment, but I guess you want them getting into a more competitive league and more competitive football. What do you want Santa to bring you though, Stephen? What would you like to see happen in January?
Just to keep going the way we're going, man. I would love to just go into the winter break with maximum points for our remaining games, man. That's it.
Do you want a centre half to come in? Is that what you want?
I would like. I would like a centre half.
Would you take Suter?
I don't think Suter's going to be better than Bassey, even though the way Bassey's playing. You know what I mean? I would take Suter. I would take him, but is he going to fucking oust Bassey the way Bassey's been playing? I don't know. I would like another winger.
Right.
I really think, like I was saying earlier on, the way they're trying to play Hadji there, it's not going to work. In Scott, the jury's still out for me with Scott Wright. As much
the jury's never been in for you and Scott Wright. Is a very...
I know.
I've always questioned this guy.
I just sometimes
made a difference at the weekend.
He did make a difference at the weekend, but against a very poor Dundee United team, he should be making a difference when he comes on. But I don't know, man. There's times where I look at him and go, that's what you get when you just buy a player for Aberdeen. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I just go, right, I look at Kent and go, he's fucking electric, man. But sometimes I think the problem with Scott Wright is I don't really question his ability, to be fair. That's a joke what I said there about a player for Aberdeen, right?
Oh, right. Ryan Jack's been a good...
Technically, I think Scott Wright technically looks very good. Do you know what I think he lacks? I think he just lacks that bit of belief.
Right.
Where I go, just believe in yourself a bit, mate. Just take that extra man on. Fucking be a bit greedy. Be a bit selfish. I think he just needs to be a bit more. I don't know. It's just something doesn't sit right with me at times with Scott Wright.
He needs a talking to from Leon Jackson, as we said in the main podcast.
Aye.
There can be miracles when you
aye.
There can be.
I think another winger.
Right.
Maybe another centre half, because Suter would be great to come in and go, right, maybe play him against Dundee United with Barisic being out there and you can play Bassett left back. Do you know what I mean? And then you keep that kind of same shape. Because obviously Balogun, no word on when he's back, is there?
No, and then the African Cup of Nations.
Aye, he's away in Hollander as well. We don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back in. But obviously, like we said when Gio took care, Gio's going to have his own targets now. He's going to have players he's got in mind. He's still going to put his own stamp on the team. They know he's putting his own stamp on the team technically, but he wants his own personnel there probably as well. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, talking about the African Cup of Nations, Aribo is going to be...
Aribo baby as well, aye.
Heading over there. That's a month out the side, which is, I mean, can you...
Don't talk about it now.
Sorry, Steve. That's in the future. That's way in the future.
That gives me the fear. That's how we need to get these games won and get that lead fucking extended.
So, talking about your lead, getting that lead extended, St Mirren up next on Boxing Day. You're going to be able to, you'll be in panel, won't you?
I know 2 shows Boxing Day, mate.
Two.
Well,
that's a night.
Who knows, will I? I don't know.
We'll wait and see. I mean, who knows if football will be on? Jesus, at the moment...
It might be behind closed doors.
At the moment, it's who knows where we're going to be this time next week. But yeah, St Mirren, I mean, Rangers' record against St Mirren's pretty bloody good. In the last 20... That's 16 wins for Rangers, 2 wins for St Mirren, 4 draws. So, it's...
very confident.
You've got to be confident in that. I mean, St Mirren, again, a team that could go down this season, shown poor form, 3 draws and 2 losses. So, at least they're not...
They're playing Celtic tomorrow night as well, aren't they?
They're playing Celtic.
Oh, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, yeah.
Oh. It's a bit a shit week for them. They've got Celtic and then they've got Rangers.
I know. I mean, I really like Jim Goodwin as a manager, but they're struggling a bit this season. Quite confident about this one.
Like I said last week, mate, these 3 home games you need to take maximum points, and I think we would. So we've done St Johnstone, Dundee United, and I think the players might have had a wee bit up the arse after that Dundee United performance and have a wee point to prove.
Right, so predictions on the score then?
3-0.
3-0. Yeah, I can't see St Mirren getting anything out of, especially at Ibrox. So I would say probably 3-0 as well. So that is it for Rangers Daft this week.
I can get back and watch my Beatles documentary now.
Stephen's watching the Beatles documentary, which I'll need to get on to myself. Well, listen, thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas from everyone.
You too, John, and I hope...
I'll see you on football. I'm just talking to the listeners, Stephen. Like, there may be people listen to Rangers Daft that don't listen to football Daft, so I'm saying... Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a blue Christmas, as Elvis once said.
Yes, have a blue Christmas.
Are you wanting any? You think you'll get any Rangers stuff for Santa, son?
Probably.
What do you think you'll get? What you want?
I don't know actually. Maybe a wee training top or something.
Oh, that'd be. Well, please, for the next Rangers Daft, I don't think we'll be doing one next week, but we'll definitely do one after the Old Firm. So let us know what Santa brings you on a Rangers perspective. We'd love to hear that. But yeah, thanks very much for listening across the first half of the season. We'll be back, however, on Football Daft this weekend. It is the last one before Christmas. We usually do our Christmas party, Stephen. Do you want to invite someone along this week? We usually do the Football Daft Christmas party.
I'll have a wee think about that, yes.
Right, well, I'll think I've got someone that I'm going to invite along as well. We'll have the Football Daft Christmas party on the main...
Oh, fuck, you know who Toll's going to invite, don't you? Kev the Chef.
That's got to happen. Vote in our swanky moment, which is up on the Twitter right now. I can't even remember what the options were off the top of my head, but you can check them out on Twitter right now. So vote in your swanky moment and we'll get that on the main podcast this week. Subscribe, rate and review, all that stuff. And until next time on Rangers Daft, have a Merry Christmas and...
We are the people.
Audio Frontier.